Hey there, this is my first time uploading anything remotely good on YouTube. So I've decided that I want to design my own character for the show Helluva Boss, and for those of you who know what it is, great. You'll know what I'm on about. And for all of you guys who somehow haven't seen the show, it's essentially just a show that's like set in hell, and there's a main character called Blitzo, except the O is silent, so it's just Blitz, who has an organization called the Immediate Murder Professionals, otherwise known as IMP. And it's basically just sinners, people who come from the living world, and other hell beings alike, pay to have people in the living world killed for them. And the show consists of their journeys in the living world, when they travel there, and the problems they face along the way. I've been following VivziePop ever since her Die Young animation for Kesha released, and I tell you, that thing was a masterpiece. I kind of forgot about her existence until Has Been Hotel dropped, and I was completely obsessed for the longest time. And so when Helluva Boss finally released, I never gave it much of a chance, thinking that there's no way that it would meet my expectations, to which, I was clearly very mistaken. I loved most of the designs for the characters and thought that the animation was absolutely impeccable. However, the thing that stunned me the most is not the designs, but the whole process and ideology behind each and every one. I loved how every marking seemed to correlate with their backstory, such as Blitzo's forehead marking representing the days he spent in the circus with Fizzarelli, and how each marking represents a scar, like the little white dots and stuff. But the thing that I wanted to talk about the most is the ideas behind the main 7 sins. Throughout hell biblically, there are 7 sins: pride, greed, gluttony, sloth, envy, lust, and wrath, each represented with their own demon. Within Helluva Boss, they did the exact same thing and represented their demons with their own unique take. We haven't seen all of the demons yet, however, the ones we have seen look absolutely astounding. Within the Pride Ring, we have Lucifer, a skinny, tall demon with slick back hair. His costume consists of a long white and red blazer covering a white and red shirt, and being held on by straps that lay horizontally across his body. This outfit typically represents a ringmaster, and as I will describe later, most of the demons seem to represent something that is typically seen in a circus. Within the Lust Ring, we have seen Osmodeus, a tall, dark being with 3 faces. He has a tail of a rooster. However, within older concepts, he was actually shown to have a lot more bird-like characteristics. Within his costume, he is also wearing a striped attire, representing a circus worker. And finally, we have Beelzebub, and unlike most speculations, she was not based completely off of bees. In fact, she was just based off of insects in general. This is because Beelzebub has no relevance to bees whatsoever in the Bible, and just means Lord of the Flies. One speculation that is commonly argued upon is, why is she a fox dog thing when she's clearly meant to be a bug? To which I would like to remind you that the main species in the Gluttony Ring is hellhounds. Moreover, back to the circus point, they used to have animal shows all the time, like tigers and lions, and they would constantly perform for circuses. Now for my design, I wanted to focus on Leviathan, the sin of envy. I have seen some speculations from Cartoon Universe guessing that they would have been a sea creature. Based off of all the sneak peeks we've gotten, and all the creatures that we've seen that are in the ring seem to look like they would be underwater. Therefore, for my design, I wanted to make something that could swim. Leviathan in the Bible is a type of sea serpent that is the embodiment of chaos. However, I didn't just want to make a sea serpent as a design, as I thought that it would be kind of boring, and that it wouldn't really fit with the look I was going for. So, I decided I wanted to make something that looked like it would always be or should be envious. So I decided on half a siren and half a sea serpent. I was originally thinking about giving her legs, but I wanted to make that a form that she could change into at any point in time. The main reason I wanted to desperately do a sea creature for this piece is because it relates to circuses, and in circuses they would sometimes have a sea life perform acts like orcas, seals, and even sharks. I decided that I wanted to give her less clothing than most characters in Helluva Boss, as I feel like the showing off your body look would be a great way to show that she's desperate for attention and that she's envious of other beings for either being more pretty than her or just getting more attention than her. I decided to also give her an anchor with a snake wrapped around as a necklace, as anchors are materialistic items that I think someone would be envious of, and a snake is sly and sleek and reminds me of the Adam and Eve story, where the devil himself tries to make Eve eat the apple out of envy of God's powers. Like all the other princes of hell, I gave Leviathan a crown on her head with a purple crystal engraved onto it, which I thought was pretty fitting. The last thing I want to talk about is her colours. I originally wanted to go green for her secondary colours and have a green, grey and blue colour palette, and being true to the saying green with envy. In the end, I settled on purple, as I saw that the Ring of Envy is actually purple in Helluva Boss, because the greed ring is already green, and plus, I think that purple looked so much better. I also decided that I wanted to add small markings, which I think contrast well with her dark primary colour. I added a scar and some bridge piercings and one stripe on her horn that wraps all the way around. For her hair, I decided I wanted to make it water because obviously she's a sea creature. So I have nothing else to say now, so just enjoy the music.